Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 3, text 25. Jiri vise nang yamuya ki antar bahishchaprutaye mayunya ichhami kalena nadasya viplava tasyatma lokavaranasya mokhyam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I do not wish to live anymore after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body covered externally and internally by ignorance? I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. Sloka of Gyan Bhagavatam. Material world, every living entity is covered with the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master who is described and offered prayers in Gautamiya Tantra as follows. Anga jnana timirandhasya jnananjana salakaya chakhyurmilinam jena tasme sri guruve namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Although one may struggle for existence in the material world, to live forever is impossible. One must understand, however, that this struggle for existence is due to ignorance, for otherwise every living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There is no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation. Every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing, but in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma down to that of an ant, no one can actually be happy. We are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. This shloka upari amor ignorance, Maya is darkness. Maya is darkness, ignorance. Ignorance is also compared with the darkness. Krishna Surya Sama. Krishna is spiritual sun, is ever fulgent. Sachidananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Sachid Anandamaya. Sanmaya, Chirmaya, Anandamaya is Krishna. It's full of eternity, full of knowledge, and full of pleasure. Ananda is source of all pleasure, all ananda, all knowledge, all eternity. It's Krishna. Maya is the just opposite. It's darkness. You understand? Jiva, the spirit soul, is eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So Jiva is also Sachidananda, Satchit Anandamaya. Isn't it? Being the part, eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Personality Godhead, the Supreme Sachidananda is Anu Sachidananda, minded Sachidananda. But Jiva has minute independence. Krishna is the supremely independent and Jiva being minute part, minute independence. Yes. When he abuses that independence, he is cut off by this illusory energy, Maya, which is ignorance, it's darkness. You understand? Thereby, Jiva loses his pure knowledge. Abhyagyan, absolute knowledge. Therefore, he has come to this material world and has been suffering here life after life due to ignorance, forgotten his own real identity, the relationship with the Supreme Lord. How can he free from such ignorance. How can this ignorance be dispelled? And how can he will understand his true identity? That's our question. How? Huh? By the mercy of the Lord only. And that mercy can be attained through Sadhu Guru. He is a pure devotee, Sadhu Guru. Otherwise he cannot attain. Do you understand? That why he can understand I am this body, I am the spirit soul. Eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. You understand? And so he must approach such a spiritual master who can dispel his ignorance, which is darkness, and can enkindle the knowledge, which is like effulgent light. Because the pure knowledge comes from Krishna. Tesang sattasuktanang vasatang pritipurvakam tatami buddhi jogam tamjena mangpananti tesang eva anukampartham jnana tama nasayami atmabhavasato jnanadipena bhasvata. 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita says this thing. One is sattasuktanang, one who is always attached to me, incidentally attached to me. Even not a moment he is not unattached. Every moment, always, incidentally attached to me. And thus my bhajan with law, Priti Purvak. Krishna says, I give him the pure intelligence. Dadam buddhi jogam. Through that intelligence he can come to me. Then he says, Tesang evanukampartham aham jnanadantama nasvayami atmabhavasto jnanadipena vasyata. Out of mercy, anukampa, showing my favor to him, this person is always attached to me, I dispel the ignorance, which is like darkness, from his heart, and enkindle the all effulgent light, that knowledge which is effulgent light. So this perfect knowledge, pure knowledge comes from Krishna. And it comes through his bona fide representative spiritual master. Do you understand? What is that pure knowledge? What is that pure knowledge? What is that knowledge? Huh? That pure knowledge, in some and substance, you can say that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is only a joy, he is only basta vastu, he is only reality. Do you understand? And Jiva is his eternal fragmental part and parcel. You understand? And that Supreme Personality of Godhead has manifold energies, potencies. Varasya sankir vividhaiva sruyate. Do you understand? So, the pure knowledge teaches you this thing, this samandha jnana, what is said. Do you understand? That means the relationship between the Supreme Lord, Jiva, and Maya. Three. Do you understand? Supreme Lord, Jiva, and Maya. Three tattva. It's tattva jnana. Do you understand? This is tattva jnana. Yeah. One who knows this tattva is tattva beta. It's known of the tattva. And spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master knows this tattva. It's tattva beta. He knows the three tattva. Isha tattva, Jiva Tattva and Shakti Tattva or Maya. Do you understand what I say? Huh? This Tattva is the known of Tattva. He can impart you this Tattva Jnana. And you, by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, have this Tattva Jnana, then the darkness, the ignorance will be dispelled. You understand? Pure knowledge will manifest. Or, in other words, we may say that your heart will be enkindled. You understand? By this pure knowledge, which is like a effulgent lamp. Effulgent lamp. And Krishna is there as Paramatma in the heart. Then your heart will be enkindled by this pure knowledge. You understand? Effulgent is like effulgent light. Then you can understand who are you, what's your real identity, and who is the Supreme Lord, and what is your relationship with Him. Then you can understand. Otherwise you cannot understand it. You understand? You cannot understand it. Therefore, one should approach a bona fide spiritual master who knows this three tattva. Which tattva jnata is the knower of tattva and is seer of tattva, tattva drashta. You understand? Of the jnana tattva braje Brajendra Kumar. Brajendra Kumar Krishna, son of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna is absolute truth of the jnana tattva. You understand? One who knows Him, one who sees Him. You understand? And one who knows that tattva, three tattva, he is the bona fide spiritual master, who comes under bona fide disciplic succession. He has received this tattva jnana from his acharya, from his guru. Acharjavana Purusha Veda. Upanishad says, Acharjavana Purusha Veda. You understand? One who has received this tattva jnana from his acharya, and that acharya has received tattva jnana from his guru. In this way, this pure knowledge descends. This tattva jnana descends and comes to us. You understand? Then he will be free from this ignorance, this darkness will dispel. That is by the mercy of the Guru. You understand? Ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana salakaya. That it has been said here. Otherwise, you cannot be free from this ajnanam of God, darkness of ignorance. You understand? So you cannot know who are you, and what is your relationship with the Lord, and what is the goal of life, and how can you be happy? In material world, it's dukhalayam, it's a miserable place, and also it is asasvatam, it's temporary, it will not last long. It has creation and sometime is there manifested, then it will be annihilated. Nobody can live here forever. Jatasya dhruva mrityu, death is sure. You understand? Here Gajendra says, why shall I live? Oh Lord, as soon as I am freed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The potency of Lord Vishnu is summarized in three categories, namely the spiritual potency, the living entities, and ignorance. The spiritual potency is full of knowledge. The living entities, although belonging to spiritual potency, are subject to bewilderment. And the third energy, which is full of ignorance, is always visible in creative activities. Sloka Ryan Bharat. Living entities are to be categorized among the Lord's potencies. The Lord is potent, and there are varieties of potencies for us Sakti Vividhi Usruyati. Now, in this quotation from Vishnu Puran, this is further confirmed. There are varieties of potencies and they have been divided into three categories, namely spiritual, marginal, and external. The spiritual potency is manifested in the spiritual world. Krishna's form, qualities, activities, and interests are all spiritual. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Adopi sannabhyatma bhutanan iswarapi san prakritim sannadhisthaya sambhavam atmamaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. Atmamaya refers to the spiritual potency when Krishna comes to this any other universe. He does so with the spiritual potency. We take birth by the force of the material potency. But as stated here, with reference to Vishnu Purana, the Kshetrajna, a living entity belongs to the spiritual potency. Thus, when we free ourselves from the clutches of the material potency, we can also enter the spiritual world. The material potency is the energy of darkness, a complete ignorance of spiritual activities. In the material potency, the living entity engages himself in fruitive activities, thinking that he can be happy through expansion in terms of material energy. This fact is prominently manifest in this age of Kali because human society, not understanding the spiritual nature, is busily expanding in material activities. The men of the present day are almost unaware of their spiritual identity. They think that they are products of the elements of material world and that everything will end with the annihilation of the body. Therefore, they conclude that as long as one has a material body consisting of material senses, one should enjoy the senses as much as possible. Since they are atheists, they do not care whether there is a next life. Such activities are described in this verse, Avidya Karma Samyana. The material energy is separated from the spiritual energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, although it is originally created by the Supreme Lord, it is not actually present to it. The Lord also confirms in Bhagavad Gita, Vasthani Sarvabhutani. Everything is resting on me, Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter. This indicates that everything is resting on its own energy. For example, the planets are resting within outer space, which is separated energy of Krishna. The Lord explains in Bhagavad Gita, Bhumirapo Vayu, Manabudhirevacha, Ahankarityam me Virna Prakritiyastadha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and falsehood. Altogether, these 8 comprise one separated energy, Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter. The separated energy acts as if it were independent. But here it is said that although such energies are certainly factual, they are not independent but merely separated. The separated energy can be understood from a practical example. I compose books by speaking into a dictaphone, and when the dictaphone is displayed, it appears that I am speaking personally, but actually I am not. I spoke personally, but then the dictaphone tape, which is separate from me, acts exactly like me. Similarly, the material energy originally emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but it acts separately, although the energy is supplied by the Lord. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita, where the Kyalapapadishyoti. This material nature is working under my direction of Sanapunti, and it is producing all moving and non-moving beings. Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter. Under the guidance of superintendence of the Supreme Personality Godhead, material energy was achieved independent, although it is not actually independent. जो सब पाठ करागला तार उड़ान बात बात भावार्थ हो या प्रदे भाष्य दे या मोर परमाराध्य गुरु दे divisions, namely the spiritual or internal potency of the Lord, the marginal potential of Kshetrajna, the living entity, and the material potency, which is separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and appears to act independently. When Srila Vyasdev, by meditation and self-realization, saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he also saw the separated energy of the Lord standing behind him. Aptasya Purusam Purnam Ayanto Tat Apasrayam. Vyasdev also realized that it is the separated energy of the Lord, the material energy that covers the knowledge of the living entity. Jaya Samohita Jiva Atmanam Trigunatmakam. The separated material energy builders the living entities, jivas, and thus they work hard under its influence, not knowing that they are not fulfilling their mission in life. Unfortunately, most of them think that they are the body and should therefore enjoy the material senses irresponsibly, since when death comes, everything will be finished. This atheistic philosophy also flourished in India, where it was sometimes propagated by Charvaka Muni, who said, Runam Krutta Rutam Pivet Javad Jivet Sukhum Jivet. Bhasimutasya Dehasya Punaragamanam Kuta. Kuta Punaragama Bhavet. His theory was that as long as one lives, one should eat as much ghee as possible. In India, ghee clarified what is a basic ingredient in preparing many varieties of foodstuffs. Since everyone wants to enjoy nice food, Charvak Muni advised that one eat as much as ghee as possible. One may say, I have no money, how shall I purchase ghee? Charvak Muni says, however, if you have no money, then beg, borrow, or steal. But in some way, stick your ghee and enjoy life. For one who further objects that he will be held accountable for such unauthorized activities as begging, borrowing, and stealing, Sarvakman replied, you will not be held responsible. As soon as your body is born, process of death, everything is finished. This is called ignorance. From Bhagavad Gita, it is understood that one doesn't die with the annihilation of the body. Nahanyate hanyamani sarire. The annihilation of one body involves changing to another. Tatha dehantara prapti. Therefore, to perform irresponsible activities in the material world is very dangerous. Without knowledge, the spirit soul and its transmigration, people are lured by the material energy to engage in many such activities, as if one could become happy simply by dint of material knowledge without reference to spiritual existence. Therefore, the entire material world and its activities are referred to as avidya karma sanyana. In order to dissipate the ignorance of human beings who work under the material energy which is separated from the Supreme Personality Godhead, Lord comes down to revive their original nature and spiritual activities. Jada jada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. As soon as they deviate from their original nature, the Lord comes to teach them, Sarvadhamana Paritijya Mamekam Saranam Raja. My dear living entities, give up all material activities, simple surrender unto my protection. Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. It is the statement of Charvak Muni that one should beg, borrow, or steal money to purchase ghee and enjoy life. Gurunam Kruta Gupam Vivek. Thus, even the greatest atheist of India recommends that one eat ghee, not meat. No one could conceive of human beings eating meat like tigers and dogs, but men have become so degraded that they are just like animals and can no longer claim to have human civilization. Srimad Mahaprabhu was an Acharya, original Acharya, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So, Krishna came as Srimad Mahaprabhu. He acted as Acharya. sadhu, guru, acharya. Because in Kali Yuga it's very difficult to get real sadhu, guru. Kali Yuga sadhu, guru paida, duskar janiya, sadhu, guru, rupi, Krishna, asila nodiya. Gour Parsad, they are devotee of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gour Parsad, an associate of Gauranga, Jogdanand Puri, said this thing. In Kali Yuga it's very difficult to get real sadhu and guru. Therefore, who is real sadhu and who is real guru? How is he? To teach this thing, to show this thing, Krishna himself appeared in Nadia as sadhu and guru. As sadhu and guru is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ideal sannyasi, ideal sadhu, ideal guru, acharya. आसीनोति शास्त्रार्थम जो आचार्य स्थापयति स्वं आचरति आचार्य तेन कीर्तित. This is the definition of acharya given in Bible. Quran. Who is an acharya? आसीनोति शास्त्रार्थम स्वं आचरति आचार्य स्थापयति. आचार्य तेन कीर्तित. One knows shastra tattva. What is given in Veda or Vedic literature, one knows in tattva. His acharya not only knows, he himself practices and observes that tattva in his own life and teaches by practical example to all human beings. And in the human society, he is an acharya. He is not theoretically speaking or theoretically saying. It is practical teaching. Practicing those tattva in his own life teaches. He is acharya. The Mahaprabhu was doing that thing. The idea of acharya. The idea of acharya, Mahaprabhu was doing that thing. But it's not all this. They are not real acharyas. Their knowledge is defective knowledge. It's not pure knowledge. Because pure knowledge comes from Krishna. He is the source of all knowledge. Sachidananda Vigraho. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraho. Krishna is the Parameswara, supreme controller. He has a form, a body, which is Satchit Anandamaya. It's full of eternity, full of knowledge, full of pleasure. It's full of knowledge. Knowledge comes from him. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said that in 10th chapter, Tesam Sattva-Juktanam Vasadam Pratipurvakam Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tamjena Manupadanti Te Tesam Eva Anukampartham Aham Jnanagatama Nasvayami Atmabhavastho Jnanadipino Hasvata. Clearly says, those who do Krishna bhajan, my bhajan, Krishna said, with love, priti, in their heart, I give them pure intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam jena manupadanti te. That intelligence they can come to me. Then he says, Tesam eva anukampartham jnanadam tam nasayami atmabhavasto jnanadipino vasvata. So, I, out of mercy, anukampartham, out of mercy, I dispel the ignorance in the heart of those people, those who do my bhajan with love, constantly in their heart. I dispel the darkness of ignorance from their heart and enkindle the very effulgent light, jnana lok, lamp of knowledge. So knowledge comes from him. That's perfect knowledge. That's perfect knowledge. It comes from Krishna. Spiritual, transcendental knowledge comes from Krishna. But this is my body, they are not. They never do Krishna bhajan. They think themselves one with the Supreme. So they are great offenders. Mahabadi Krishna Aparadi. Mahaprabhu was saying, Mahabadi Krishna Aparadi. They are great offenders. Because they think themselves as one with the Supreme. They never surrender unto the Supreme Lord. They never render loving service unto Him. In other words, we are saying they are not situated in their constitutional position. So they are great offenders. Mahaprabhu has given us caution not to associate with such offenders. So Mahabadi then listen to their philosophy. Mahabadi Bhasya Sunila Vaisarvanas. If you listen to Mahabadi Bhasya, then you'll be done. All your bhakti, bruti, atma, bruti will be finished. You'll become offender. Mahaprabhu has cautioned. Because they are not situated in their original constitutional position as the servant of the Lord. They think themselves one with the Lord. It's great offense. So they have no pure knowledge, no perfect knowledge. Therefore they say, the Jiva and Krishna, Jiva and Krishna are Supreme Lord, one, equal. Yes. This is their erroneous philosophy. Incorrect. The correct philosophy. Therefore, Mahaprabhu, as an teacher, teaches them. Jiva Tattva Shakti, Krishna Tattva Shaktiman. Gita, Vishnu Puranadi, Tahate Pramana. He teaches them. Living entities are energies, not energetic. The energetic is Krishna. This is very difficult to describe in Bhagavad Gita, the Vishnu Purana, and other Vedic literatures. Tasma Shastra Pramanam Karya Karya Vyavasthido. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Shastra Pramanam, Sabda Pramanam, Veda Pramanam, Vedic evidence is the Mukhya Pramanam, is the chief evidence. Vedic evidence is the chief evidence, Mukhya Pramana, Shruti Pramana. Pramana ka madhya Shruti Pramana pradhana. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll find there are 4 types of evidences. Pramana Chatushtaya, Anumana, Aitiha, Pratyaksha, Shruti Pramana. 4 types of pramanas, 4 types of evidences. Though there are 10 types of evidence, those will be the pramana. If we explain it in detail, we'll find those will be the pramana. 10 types of, but summarizingly. So Srimad Goswami has said in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 4 types, broadly 4 types of pramanas. Pramana Chatushtaya. Anumana, Aitiha, Pratyaksha, Shruti Pramana. 4 types of. Now, out of these 4, Shruti Pramana, Pradhana, Vedic evidence, Shruti means Veda. Vedic evidence is chief evidence. Tasmat Shastra Pramanam Karya Karya Vyavasthido. Therefore Krishna says that thing in Bhagavad Gita. Shastra Pramana means evidences, Vedic evidences or evidences found in Vedic literature are chief evidence. Accordingly you will consider what to do or what not to do, Karya or Garja. So now he quotes evidence from Gita and Vishnu Purana. How Jiva Tattva is Shakti Tattva, Krishna Tattva is Shakti Mana Tattva. Living entities are energies and Krishna is energetic. Living entities are not energetic. How do you equalize the energy and energetic? Mahaprabhu says this thing and depicts their philosophy as an ideal acharya, quoting Vedic evidence So first he quoted evidence from Gita, now he is quoting from Vishnu Purana. Yes, Vishnu Sakti Pura Prapta Kshetra Tatha Pura Avidya Karo Samyana Trutiya Sotidishyate. Potential of Vishnu is summarized in three categories, namely spiritual potency, living entities, and ignorance. The spiritual potency is full of knowledge. Living entities also belonging to spiritual potency are subject to bewilderment. And third energy is full of ignorance, is always visible in fruitive activities. Avidya Shakti, is Maya Shakti, is Avidya Shakti, ignorance. And though the Jiva Shakti comes under the spiritual potency, still it is marginal, tatastha Shakti, in which there are these two are in thoughts, spiritual and para and apara. Spiritual or superior and inferior material. Apara means material, and para means superior or spiritual. Two are in thoughts in jiva. So jiva is called marginal energy, tatastha Shakti. When there are in jiva, when there are these two are in thought, and jiva has a mind of independence, so he will come under either of the two. By utilizing his independence. So, when you utilize his independence, you use your independence, there is proper use and abuse. Proper use and abuse. Sadupayoga, durupayoga, we'll say. The jiva who is intelligent, he can make the proper use of his intelligence and come under Prakriti, superior energy, to which he belongs. Thereby he can situate himself in his constitutional position. But if he will abuse his independence, he will come under this apara prakriti, inferior prakriti or illusory energy, which is avidya shakti, the ignorance. When he abuses, and the living entity abuses his mind with independence and comes under this material energy or illusory energy, it is full of ignorance, he forgets his own identity. He forgets the supreme law. He forgets his internal relationship with the law. Forgets everything. And he thinks that he is the body, which he is not. Thinks that he is the body. And therefore, he acts in that way. That means he acts under the clutches, under the influence of avidya shakti, material energy, which is full of ignorance, to fulfill his bodily needs. Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. These are the needs of the body. This is not the need of the soul. These are not the needs of the soul. These are the needs of the body. Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. And he thinks that he is body. But he is not body, he is spirit soul. And mind. Your spiritual master, beloved spiritual master, Sri Prabhupada Maharaj has quoted a theistic philosophy of Charvak Muni. Runam krutva gutam pivet javad jivet sukham jivet vasmibhutasya dehasya punaragamanantata. Yes, said this thing. This is a theistic philosophy. He says that this body is everything, and bodily enjoyment is the be all and end all of life. As long as you are alive, this body is there, you enjoy. That means bodily enjoyment or sense gratification. He says, Dhrutam pive, drink ghee. If someone say, I have no money, how can I purchase ghee or get ghee? No, take borrow and steal. Anyhow, get ghee. And I say, all right, if I borrow and cannot repay, and if I steal, which is a very sinful activity, I will be responsible for it, I will be held responsible for it. No, you never be held responsible. And this body is finished, everything is finished. I will be held responsible. You finished. You have no knowledge that you are not body, you are the spirit soul, which is never finished. Nahunyate hunyamani sarire, very clearly. Gita says. Body dies, the soul never dies. Soul has no birth, no death, no change at all. Vikruta. Body has birth, body has death, body changing every moment. This knowledge, this is the perfect knowledge, Tattva-jnana. But Savat Muni has no such knowledge, the theistic philosophy. And people, most of the people here, almost all people here follow this philosophy. Because they are covered with ignorance, kshetrajnana, avidya, karma-sunyana, avidya shakti. The ignorance, they are covered with this maya shakti, the ignorance. So they follow this philosophy. Now, Mahaprabhu as an ideal teacher teaches, gives correct philosophy, and teaches the Maharajas. The Maharajas have this incorrect philosophy. So Mahaprabhu now teaches this thing, quoting evidences. Gita, Vishnu Purana, Veda.